Welcome to this update on our third quarter 2020 production results. This video presentation is our attempt at adapting to the new ways of communicating with our investor base in this current global situation. Before we get started, I'm required to remind you that we will definitely be making forward-looking statements within the meaning of applicable securities laws, and we do not intend to and we do not assume any obligation to update such forward-looking information other than as required by applicable law, so you are duly cautioned. And before our Chief Financial Officer, Dan Dickson, reviews our quarterly production results, I'd like to begin this presentation by touching on how we can create value for our shareholders in both the short and the long term. And really, there are four main value propositions in this regard. So catalyst number one, and certainly very important, is that 6 quarters ago we launched a comprehensive company-wide operational turnaround to reduce our costs and improve our free cash flow. We are now nearing the end of this turnaround phase, and we've now posted several quarters of falling costs. Also, the results presented in this third quarter speak volumes to the visibility of this turnaround. Catalyst number two is that we have the best organic growth profile in the silver mining sector. It's one of the easiest ways to differentiate ourselves amongst our peers, with a development asset that could provide an additional 10 years of low-cost production in future years. Catalyst number three refers to the success of our own exploration team. So we built this company through the drill bit, and we have a solid track record of turning virgin discoveries into meaningful production. And lastly, catalyst number four is that because we are a pure precious metals producer with no base metals in the revenue mix, we offer a sector-leading beta to the price of silver in what we feel is an emerging bull market for both gold and more so silver.
Turning our attention to third quarter safety performance, I'm pleased to say that since we restarted operations in late May, our employees and contractors have applied the COVID-19 protocols and all precautionary measures extremely well. To date, we've performed well over 500 tests across the company, and even with fewer employees at site, we're operating near capacity. Specifically, we're motivating and encouraging our staff to talk about symptoms, understanding the effects of COVID, the impact of social distancing and sanitizing, and wearing masks, with constant reminders through signage, safety talks, and formal discussions. I will also point out that the national Mexican infection rate peaked in August and is now slowly on a downward trend. On the community front, our team is doing a great job. A new and notable initiative that will be rolled out in Q4 is our recent tablet donation program for students of all ages in rural areas who cannot attend schools due to transportation constraints and don't have access to a computer at home. Company-wide, we're donating over 400 tablets to students within our communities to assist with temporary virtual learning, as well as providing sanitation kits and COVID tests to help prevent the spread. With safety at the forefront of everything we do, our operations team delivered a solid quarter given the global pandemic. Consolidated silver equivalent production continues to improve quarter over quarter and was up 66% since Q2 due to the resumption of normal throughput. And there's still room for considerable improvement in Q4. In total, silver production was just shy of 1 million ounces and gold production exceeded 10,000 ounces for 1.8 million silver equivalent ounces produced. Our production results were led by Guanaceví, which accounted for 56% of quarterly production. Then Bolonitos, which delivered 33%, and El Compass the remaining 11%. While we formally withdrew our guidance in Q2 following the mandated government suspensions, we were originally forecasting to produce 6 to 7 million ounces this year. To date, we've produced 4.4 million. So it appears we are tracking to achieve the lower end of this forecast, despite the temporary suspension of activities for April and part of May, when the government declared a state of national emergency due to COVID-19. During this quarter, we also strengthened our management team with a newly appointed Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Don Gray, who has over 40 years experience in the mining industry. Most recently, he served as COO of Continental Gold, where he steered the successful build-out of the Barraquita mine in Colombia, prior to its sale to the Chinese majors. We are confident that his expertise and knowledge will add value for our shareholders. In the meantime, we have several months to say farewell to Godfrey Walton, one of the founders of Endeavour, for his 17 years of service to the company, and wish him well in his more than deserved retirement. So moving into the operations and starting with Guanaceví in Durango, which is currently our largest and most silver-rich mine. It has really evolved back into our cornerstone asset. From an operational standpoint, the mine has made big strides over the past 4 quarters as we expand production from the new high-grade ore bodies. The result is a year-over-year increase in equivalent grades and ounces by 44% and 51% respectively. The seasonal rainfall was a challenge this quarter. The mine averaged close to 1,100 tons per day, but the bottleneck was the plant, as the rain really wet our ore, resulting in an average throughput of 900 tons per day. On a positive note, the mine stockpiled over 24,000 tons of ore, and as the rain subsides in Q4, we expect to reach the target capacity of 1,200 tons per day throughput. Management is evaluating various preventative measures to better manage this next year's rain season. Guanaceví has been re-established as an extremely valuable asset from continued exploration success along the prolific Santa Cruz ore-bearing vein structure. We've continually discovered new ore bodies along this structure, and the 2020 high-grade drill intercepts on the El Curso concession has continued this trend of consistently extending the life of the mine. Bolonitos is located in Guanajuato, and it's predominantly a gold mine where more than 3/4 of its production value comes from gold. Bolonitos is still in a transition phase to achieve its targeted results, however performance is improving. Last year we undertook significant investment into this mine to yield positive results, including purchasing and leasing new mobile equipment, resequencing the mine plan, and accelerating mine development. We are still in a development-intensive phase until year-end, but we expect to commence production from a new high-grade ore body called San Miguel in Q4 and develop to the Meleger vein next year. Particularly encouraging this quarter is the increase in tons, so we are confident we can complete the turnaround as these new discoveries come on stream. Moving to El Campos, our newest and smallest gold mine in Zacatecas, delivering 10% of our consolidated production. Performance in the 3rd quarter was steady. While throughput was above plan, dilution remains a focus. So we're evaluating different ways to extract high-grade ore with more control. We've also restarted brownfield drilling to identify new potential areas and/or extensions.
In closing, that was a brief summary of our 3rd quarter operational performance. Another big milestone this quarter was the announcement of our final pre-feasibility study for the Terronera project, which delivered robust economics. We are proceeding to a full feasibility to further de-risk the asset as well as capture some more upside, with an expected completion in the summer of next year. We also announced the filing of an at-the-market prospectus supplement for up to $60 million that will be used to fund growth initiatives, including projects like Terronera, as well as prospective M&A opportunities that may arise. And in closing, we look forward to announcing our financial results on November 5th. We do have positive expectations on the news. As a reminder, in this past 2nd quarter, all 3 mines generated free cash flow despite the mandated shutdowns for more than half the quarter. We currently have no long-term debt on the balance sheet, and we do anticipate an increase to our treasury and cash flow this quarter as a result of the operational improvements and efficiencies, and of course, the stronger prices for precious metals.